All right, so we got Josh Francis in there waiting for his opponent, Jamil Matthews, to come out and get in that cage. Uh-oh. Got a nice entourage here. Very game looking. Ready for a fight. Looks like nobody is. And that's what I like. That's the first thing I look at when I see fighters come out. I'm trying to gauge. I'm like, where are you mentally right now? Are you ready for this tonight? Are you here tonight, or are you like, what's on your mind?
Yeah, it's looking at Francis. It's hard for me to pick. I mean, he's definitely got a sweat going. As far as physically, he's ready. Where's his mind? I have no idea. Honestly, both of these guys seem pretty cool. They seem pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
If I was going to just fight pre-fight demeanor, I would give the nod to Matthews.
I don't know, man. You just missed those stomps coming out of Francis. He just gave a couple of stomps.
So I have him backwards then.
Francis is the white dude, and Matthews is the black dude.
Oh, I only heard the foot stomps. Those were Francis?
That was Francis.
Okay, love it. Physically, I'm going to give it to Francis. He's in better shape.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, look at Jamil. A little bit of pudge, a little bit, but who knows? I mean, that really doesn't matter in the fight game, to be honest. Hopefully, it doesn't affect his gas tank.
Right. And that's a good point. Sometimes guys lean too much on their physique and their physical capabilities, and they gas themselves out, whereas other guys focus more on the technical aspects of fighting.
Right, exactly. I mean, you look at guys in the heavyweight division that you go, there's no way they could last 5 rounds, like if they were doing a main event and, championship fight, and then they do, easily.
Well, we were talking about BJ Penn earlier. Like, BJ Penn has never looked like he was in great shape, but,
Yeah. That's the one thing about BJ Penn, though. He did realize that he needed. There were the times that he couldn't rely on technique. He was like, I need to get in better shape. So I mean, sometimes you do just need to be in better shape.
I'm gonna go with Francis on this one. That's my pick.
I'm gonna go with Francis too. I think.
I feel like that might be a hometown pick for you, but
that is a hometown. Yeah, it's totally biased. I don't know anything about Jamil at this point. All right, we got some punching and kicking going on right out of the bat. It looks like both fighters are very animated. There's not a slow start here. This is a quick start. And I like that Jamil is really changing the angles. He's not staying in front of him.
He's changing his height. He's moving.
And so, I mean, but Francis is the one on the hunt. He's in the middle of the cage, and he's hunting down Jamil Matthews. We're going to go with Matthews. So I'm going to call him.
Right, Matthews.
Oh, nice punch to the head there.
He's looked like he may try to go in for a guillotine Francis. Didn't get it, but that was a tough knee.
From
and now
all
it
the
looks
way
like
down.
we got a little bit of a headbutt there from Jamil Matthews. They've reversed position on the wall.
Nice reverse position there from Francis. That was beautiful.
He's got to be careful though, because he's got the underhooks.
Yeah, and that's a better position as far as wrestling goes. Francis is
he's gotten the takedown.
Taking it down. Yep, you saw that coming, didn't you?
Well, so, I mean, when you have those underhooks, you have to separate your hips from him.
But what are we seeing from Francis? It looks like up. So it looked like a triangle attempt, sorta. For a second.
And it looks like
they're back on their feet.
Neither one of these guys are necessarily one to play the ground game. That might change if Francis goes to the ground and ends up on top. But I think Francis is happier with on his feet.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Muay Thai happening at Disciple. I can tell you that. It's some of the best Muay Thai you're going to get here in the States. Oh, just a crazy backspinning kick there from Francis. Francis is just
Francis is.
Oh my gosh!
Francis wants it. He's got there's blood in the water right now. Matthews is trying to get him to the mat to sort of stop.
He's okay. So Matthews is pointing at his nutsack.
And I think I saw something.
Little
at least
hit there.
get into the area. I do think that sometimes guys, if they're in trouble, will point when anything's close. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe it was a thigh hit, but he was like, "Yeah, it's close enough. Close enough." Up, but he's not taking too long. They're right back at it again.
Right back at it.
And I think that Matthews is very wary now of Francis. I mean, at first he was kind of going in there trying to stand and bang with him.
Yeah, I think that he's starting to understand that he's going to have to land something big. Watching these two, Francis seems to be the better fighter.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely
Francis
stand
is.
up. Oh, another backspinning heel kick. Another backspinning heel kick from Francis. Francis is trying to go for a takedown.
He gets on top there.
Wow. And that's when the horn sounds. But that was interesting because Francis was trying to go for a takedown, and then Matthews, who's obviously the better wrestler, took him down, but then took Francis down on top of him.
No, agreed. I was actually really impressed that Matthews, after sustaining the back spinning kick, like he went at it after the clinch. He's the better person from the clinch as far as the takedown.
Yeah, that's obvious.
And so, if you go back to the one part of the fight and just looking at like Matthews' opportunities to win, there was the moment where he was on top after the takedown earlier, and he just sort of backed out.
Right.
So I think that he is more worried about the guard than he is, the likelihood of being submitted in the guard.
Right.
Then he is happy about being in that top position to be able to throw some punches.
Right.
Which puts him in a bad spot. I think that's where he's going to have to end up if he's going to win this fight. But I think we're close to a knockout blow, honestly.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'm probably for Francis. I mean, he's throwing.
Yeah, no, I think that Francis, he's got more velocity. His kicks are better targeted. He's gone to the leg twice.
Yeah, Francis.
He's going to go to the head soon.
Francis throwing some nasty leg kicks, and he just a nice teep kick there to the chest. And Francis is kind of changing angles here, seeing what he can get.
He came in with a nice left. Anticipated that pretty well through to where Francis moved his head.
Another nasty leg kick. And that was one of those leg kicks where he just threw his whole body kind of forward into it. Matthews is just, he doesn't no clue at this point. He's throwing some nice stuff, but I don't think he actually is at the level.
Yeah. That being said, I feel like he's I don't feel like he's necessarily winning this round or anything. But I feel like so far in this round, this round is even.
Yeah, he's exchanging. He's for every attack. I think he is kind of throwing something up. It's not one-sided by anybody.
Right. Whereas Francis is very composed, is methodical in his approach. It seems like Matthews has sort of changed up the script a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's kind of moving in weird ways, just to throw off timing and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's doing some interesting things with his feet.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't want to say dancing, but just the movements are more unorthodox.
Yeah, a little bit more erratic, kind of throwing off the timing.
And I feel like there was an opportunity there for Matthews to get a takedown, and he didn't take it.
Yeah, and I wonder, again, going back to the gas tank, I wonder how the gas tank has to do with this. Because, I mean, he's slowing down. I mean, he's definitely, I think Matthews is definitely slowing down here.
I think that they both are. I mean, look at where Francis's hands are now compared to where they were earlier.
No, you're right, because I saw a big huff from Francis, big huff.
And I think that he was throwing a lot of knockout shots in the first round.
Yeah, spending a lot of energy.
And he may have punched and kicked himself out a little bit.
Yeah. But that being said, these guys are still throwing some pretty nice shots here.
They're battling. I'm actually pretty happy to see these guys keep battling each other.
Yeah, a lot of heart here.
And I think that the matchup of the fight, like I feel like this one's pretty close to the Gladfelter-Sampson fight.
Yeah.
Where Gladfelter was the better.
Another shot to the Jimmy.
Where I thought Gladfelter was the better fighter,
yeah.
and Sampson was a little bit undermatched. And I feel like the same thing is here. Francis is the better fighter. Matthews is a little bit undermatched. But the difference is Matthews has not conceded anything. He's continuing to say, hey, I have a shot here. I'm going to keep fighting.
Yeah, I wonder if he feels that. I wonder if he actually sees that, because it's weird. It's different to see it out here and sort of like being there. The difference of all he needs to do is kind of just show up a little bit more here in this third round coming up, and he might actually win. Because you're right. It's not too. Oh, nasty leg kick, and that's it for second round.
Very good. So the first round, clearly Francis to me.
Yeah.
The second round, I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
Well, with the takedown from Matthews, the two takedowns that he did, that made us start to pay attention to him a little bit more. And the fact that even though he's not throwing these like crazy awesome attacks like Francis, he is throwing his own attacks as well. So
yeah, and I think that this round he showed much better.
Yeah.
And it looks like he might actually have more in the gas tank than Francis at this point.
I mean, yet to see. I can't wait for third round here. We're going to see who's got the bigger gas tank. This is going to be it's going to show it for us.
I'll say that his coach is putting every piece of energy that he has into his fighter.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see a coach be in the fight with you like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is going to be Matthews' round. I don't know that it's going to be his fight.
Can't wait to see if you're right, man. A lot of respect there, guys. Clap hands there. And Matthews is coming out fighting.
And Matthews has definitely changed the tempo a little bit. But here we go. Here's the wrestling. We'll get to see. Okay. And there's a guillotine.
Nice single leg, and then a guillotine from Matthews.
This could be dangerous for if he can't.
He got his head out.
He's just too slippery.
Yeah.
But here we go again.
This is an absolute scramble.
And nothing from my experience, and I don't have experience in MMA. But
Francis just doing nice punch.
Takedown attempts to tire you more than anything else I do.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody who's ever done any groundwork knows that.
I think that Francis, like,
oh my gosh,
that was a tough one.
Beautiful uppercut, left uppercut from Matthews.
Francis's hands are they're below his pant leg.
Oh, he's going for a lazy single leg.
Yeah, very lazy, but he came up with it. But Francis is very good on his feet here. Yeah. He doesn't seem to be able to be taken down.
I think Francis is on fumes at this point, but all that training is kind of coming into play. And Matthews, like you said, crazy, man. He doesn't look like the more fit guy, but he's definitely got more in the gas tank. And maybe he shot it. Maybe Francis shot his wad, like you said, in round 1 and 2. That very well could be, while Matthews was kind of conserving himself.
I think that this is Matthews' round so far.
So far, unless Francis has got something crazy for him.
But I don't want to see Matthews. I feel like Matthews is slow. He came out with great energy. And now it's a lot less. I want to see him. I want to see him go and try to take the fight. I want to see somebody try to win the fight.
Oh, and
try to throw the elbow.
Just trying to throw a nice elbow there.
Got a nice kick and a nice knee by Matthews. Francis is hurt.
Oh, up elbow from Francis. I don't know if it actually made any contact, but Francis is done. His hands are behind.
Francis is he's going for anything he's got now. There it is. Oh, now Matthews got 2 solid knees. I think he's going to put him on the mat. I think with a takedown here.
Dude, both of these fighters are done. They are absolutely draining the last little bit out of their gas tank.
Yeah, they're leaving it all out there.
All of it.
You know, as a coach, that's what you want to see your athletes do, is just go, I mean, this is a big moment. And you just want to see them, do their best, not leave anything undone.
Right.
Couple just little baby slaps to the face there. This is it. Might get a flurry here out of these two guys. They know that we're, few seconds left.
And people are standing up at this point. I think that's a Matthews round, bro.
I think it's a Matthews round. I think that if you go back, and so the one thing that I don't like about the way fights are judged with this 10-9 system typically being the rounds, the things I would look at just sort of cumulatively over the entire fight, the striking went to Francis in the first round,
right?
But the takedown game was Matthews in the first round.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that the delta there is you give that one to Matthews. Francis, excuse me. And the second round, I thought it was a little bit more even, but you do have the penalties. He had the 2 below-the-belt kicks. I don't know exactly how the penalties factor into that. And then you have the third round, which I think was a much more clear. I would say that the third round was as clear for Matthews. As the first one was for Francis.
For Francis, yeah. So, I mean, you got a toss-up here. I'm not sure which way they're going to go. But, they say end well, and I don't know, man. Matthews
was still trying to win the fight.
Yeah. And Francis, I mean, he could not keep his hands up. He was so tired at that point.
Yeah, he was gassed.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Let's see what the judges thought.
So we picked Francis before. If I was a judge, I would go Matthews at this point.
Yeah.
But I feel like, and this isn't how the judges score things, but I'm like you. I would want there to be more of an emphasis on the final round, the final moments of a fight.
Right.
Particularly when it goes into a decision. Leave the judges with that final impression of you just out there.
Yeah, just
going for it.
Taking the fight to the other guy. Yeah.
And it's a different thing if you go out there and you lose the fight for the entire time, and then the last 10 seconds you're trying to throw the haymaker. That's different.
Yeah. And they both got their arms up.
Moment of truth.
All right, let's see who did this. Split decision, yep. Wow. So that was a Francis fight, man. Josh Francis from Disciple MMA just clinched the win.
And congratulations to him. And definitely not taking anything away from him.
No, not at all.
He clearly won the first round.
Yeah.
And I think he was the better fighter. Technically, I think he's the better fighter.
Yeah.
The second round was really too close to call, and I think the judges saw it that way too. I think that's where you have your split decision. You have 2 judges that say, hey, I think that it was Francis, the other judge saying Matthews. And then I think all the judges went Matthews the third round, but it was, like I said, it's as close as you can get.